Hi friends, today I'm going to make a video about age and assistant professor age limits and what to do if you are finishing your PhD and how to plan for your PhD if you are planning to join any of the Indian technology institutions such as the Indian Institute of Technology, the National Institute of Technology and so on, which often have a 35-year-old age limit requirement for the assistant professor degree. So now the first thing you can do is you can try to finish your PhD by age 34, and this of course would require that you start your PhD by age 29, because let's assume that the PhD is going to take about 5 years. That gives you time to essentially get a job here. Now of course anything below 29 is going to be better. The right time to start a PhD is 25 to 28 years in this system, because that's going to give you a lot of time to finish your PhD and also probably do a postdoc, because the postdoc can be useful for strengthening your CV or for improving your broader outlook about the world. So essentially, as far as the PhD is concerned in the Indian system, the lower age is certainly better situation, because it gives you time to do your PhD without too much stress, to do a postdoctoral position, to apply to the university and so on. Now, what to do if your PhD is there and you are graduating at 33 to 34 year of age? So I would say the best tactic here is to apply directly to the various positions of assistant professors at different Indian Institute of Technologies, NIT, IIITs and various engineering colleges, because if you have a decent record of 2 to 5 journal papers and you are in the right area, you may get a job. Now remember that as far as faculty positions are concerned, this is not so much about the number of papers you have, but exactly the field you are graduating in. So when people hire a faculty at a typical institution, they are looking at a person to teach courses. That's the fundamental aim, and the research they do is actually a secondary aim. So essentially they are going to fill in positions where they have a need for certain type of teachers. So if you are a person who is graduating in a certain area, maybe biotechnology, maybe heat transfer, maybe fluid mechanics, maybe machine learning, maybe databases, your job opportunities are going to depend more on your specialization than on the number of papers you have. So do not shy from just applying directly to these positions. Generally, it's only in the sciences that there is a very strong requirement to do a postdoc. It's not there in the engineering disciplines. So keep that in mind. And even in the case of sciences, it may be possible to get a position, because if you are in one of those areas of sciences which is a relatively hot area where they do not get many people, then they may just give you a job straight away. So maybe you are working in genomics or bioinformatics, you can certainly get a job in many institutions. Now, what to do if your PhD is being finished below 32 years of age? I would say in this case you can either directly apply to a faculty position, or you can spend a couple of years doing a postdoc somewhere, because postdoc experience is always going to be good for your life. Even if you spend a 1-year postdoc stint somewhere, for example in Humboldt postdoc in Germany, you are going to remember that for the rest of your life, and also you are going to be able to take advantage of the various alumni programs which are out there under these postdocs. So once you have become a Humboldt fellow, you always remain a Humboldt fellow, and you can go for 3-month stints in Germany later in life also. Now, if you are somebody who is older than 35, I would say that it's difficult to really get the assistant professor position at these institutions unless you belong to certain categories. So in that case, you can consider private universities which may be more flexible. You can consider research labs, you can consider corporate research and development centers and so on. And of course, you can also apply outside of India. So remember that there is nothing called Indian science. Science is completely global. So you can certainly apply to some foreign country and do postdoc there, maybe get a faculty position there after that, or you may be able to directly get a faculty position in some countries. So you can look at nearby countries, maybe you look at Singapore, UAE, you can look at faraway countries, maybe US, Canada, Australia, Europe, Japan, and so on. So do not be shy of applying globally, because I personally feel this age requirement on PhDs is somewhat of a throwback thing. It's not in sequence with modern way of thinking. Your PhD age really does not matter. What matters is your capability after you have finished the PhD. But as long as these rules are there, you need to keep them in mind, because government rules are hard to get around with. Essentially what happens in government is that the bureaucracy has to go on with these rules, so it's very hard to make an exception in most cases to these rules. So this was my take on people who are graduating later in life with the PhD and are aspiring to work at one of these Indian institutions which have an age limit for assistant professor recruitment. I hope you benefit from this video, and I will see you in a video sometime soon. See you then.